Hey, Gold Diggers, how you doing? I know we missed our meeting this month, our normally scheduled meeting, which should have been held on the 16th. So I apologize. So no problems if you aren't here tonight. I'm just going to go ahead and do the recording and do the PowerPoint. I really wanted to do kind of a checkup tonight, see how you guys were doing, coming along. We're in the 7th month opposed to the 6th month. Last month we talked about real estate. This month I wanted to do a part follow-up. So I'm going to go ahead and share the screen and just remind you guys of some things you guys have been trained on and have been educated. A few things might be new. Those of you who are new Gold Diggers, don't be intimidated. Just go in the classroom and follow the trainings that we have in there. And if you have any questions, of course, you're more than welcome to ask us. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen now so that I can talk about some things I would like to know if you guys are following up on and continuing to do the work. Remember, if you don't do the work, you're not going to see the progress. Remember, financial success or wealth is done on a daily basis. It's a continuous work. It's something you have to continually work at. So I want you to be reminded of that. So remember, we start out with a good name. A good name. Proverbs 22:1 says, a good name is to be chosen over great wealth. Favor is better than silver and gold. Ecclesiastes 7:1. A good name is better than fine perfume in the day of one's death than the day of one's birth. So I want you guys to remember, credit is one of the most important things that you could think of. Thinking about coming out with a new program as it relates to credit, especially since I understand that in my own state, we have the worst credit in all of the nations. So remember, your credit is key. You must have a good credit score. So make sure you guys are doing your homework with the credit. You guys get the ebook for free. Make sure you're doing what you're supposed to do. Take the time out to do it, guys. Even if you have to take an hour a day on your lunch hour, at home on a Saturday, your off day. Miss one of your TV shows, but take the time out to do what you need to do to get your credit going. Let's look at the next slide. Don't forget, invest in your children and your grandchildren. Use the 529 plan. Every state has a 529 plan. This is a plan where you can invest up to $50 a month. The state will match you. This is a good plan for your children, those of you who have young children, and this is a good plan for those of you who would like to do something for your grandchildren. I have all kinds of ages here in the Gold Diggers program. And so remember, it's a tax-free growth. It's used only for educational purposes. It's transferable to another beneficiary. So if that child was to become incapacitated where they cannot go to college, you can transfer the money to another sibling of that child. Or if that child was to be deceased, that money would not go on waste. You can transfer it to another child. It's taxable only if you use it for something other than education. So remember, the 529 plan is strictly for educational purposes. Every state in the United States has one. Just Google your state. If you live in Michigan, say Michigan 529. If you live in Louisiana, Louisiana 529 plan. But every state has a 529 plan. Next, I want to introduce you to the Uniform Gift to Minors Act. This is a competitive new thing that they've come out with as a competition to the 529 plan. Now, the Uniform Gift to Minors Act is a little different from the 529 plan in that at age 18, it gets transferred over to the child in whom the gift was made out for or made out to. And there's nothing you can do about what the child decides to do with the money. So that's the catch-22 to the Uniform Gift to Minors Act. The funds are transferred to the minors for education. Any other purpose benefiting the child outside of food, clothes, and shelter will be taxable. Large gifts, including money. So if you know you have property or some big funds you want to transfer to your child, you can do it through the Uniform Gifts to Minors Act. It's irrevocable. What does that mean? That means that when you transfer it, when you open this Uniform Gifts to Minors Act fund for the child, you cannot transfer it back to your name. Once it's in the records and it's been recorded, this is for the child. There's nothing you can do to get it back into your name. So it's irrevocable. It cannot be transferred to you, or the funds are used. They cannot be transferred back to you. It can be willed to someone else if the child dies. Check with your CPA or tax accountant on the tax threshold. What would be your tax benefit in doing it? And then, of course, remember to include it and remember to have your last will and testament. I'm sorry. Those of you who are single parents, those of you who are parents, grandparents, those of you who are divorcees, remember you need to have a will, some type of will and testament. Remember, this is checkup month. I'm going to refresh you. I want to remind you of things you should be doing. And as I come across new stuff, I'm going to bring it to the table. So the Uniform Gifts to Minors Act, that's something we had never talked about. The 529 is a refresher. We talked about that. The last will and testament, we talked about that. And you can get that in Man's Survival Kit, the book I wrote, Man's Survival Kit, and that'll help you with that. Let's move on to next, investing in the market. We're talking about stocks. You guys are supposed to be studying the stocks and doing your homework on that. We'll come back maybe next month and look at some definitions with the stock market as we're preparing to learn how to trade the stock market and stock. Remember, we talk about common stocks, mutual funds, bonds, global currency is Forex, and cryptocurrency. Remember, the stock market is strictly the New York Stock Exchange for the United States of America. Bonds are owned by the federal government. Global currency is the Forex. It's just that global currency, over 200 and something currencies in a system that's traded 24 hours a day. And cryptocurrency, remember, it's virtual money. Nobody really governs it. So it doesn't have a watchdog. What crypto, to me, this is my personal opinion, cryptocurrency is good to trade on the global currency exchange for cash, but I would not buy cryptocurrency. I do believe it's going to collapse in the future because it doesn't have a watchdog, and now everybody's jumping on board. So be careful with that, okay? Again, for those of you who are just coming on, this is a refresher course. I want to remind you of the things I would like to see you investing in, things that's affordable right now where you are, things you should be doing to invest in your children, your babies, your grandchildren. Invest in insurance. It's a slippery slope, but we need it. Everybody needs it, and there's some type of plan out there for everybody. Even if you say, I'm sickly, I can't get anything, then the best thing you could do is go and visit some type of a funeral parlor and see what type of burial plans they may have to offer. But don't have nothing. You should have something, right? So Whole Life and Universal are the top-notch, of course, insurance programs you can get into. They're usually more affordable when you're under, I say, 40 years old. Once you get past 40, you might want to look into term insurance or premium, return on premium, and we'll talk about that. But Whole and Universal are both considered permanent policies. Permanent policy is now a new name, new lingo that they're using to define insurance now under the Whole and Universal policies. They both can accumulate cash. You can borrow against the cash that accumulates in those policies. and they have higher premiums than return on premiums and term life, right? What's the difference in the two? Whole life is a lifetime fixed premium. The premium remains the same against the lifetime of the policy. It's tax deferred and has continued cash value. Universal life is flexible premiums based on cash out of cash value, meaning with universal life, if you decide you want to take some of the cash out of the cash value, then your premiums may increase contingent on the death benefit of the policy. So that's something you need to talk about with your insurance agent, but I think it's something you should be educated on. Term life is just that, term life. Paid over term is cheaper than universal, and whole rates increase after each term. So for example, if you get a 20-year policy, say for $100,000, and you're paying $20 a month for 20 years, once that term ends, the 20 years, that $100,000 policy is going to increase in the term, and you will have to renew it for another 20 years. Return on premium is a good investment to me as an insurance policy, especially if you're young and you're trying to save toward a particular item, say like buy a house cash or something. You can take a return on premium policy and pick up one for 20 years, pay on it for 20 years, and after the 20 years is up, 10 years is up, 5 years is up, you get the premium that you paid into the policy back to you. So you're not losing any money. Well, how does the insurance company make money off of that? Of course, they're making money off the interest they earn on the money you're paying into the policy. You, on the other hand, it's like a savings account for you with no interest. But if you died, you would get the policy, the value of the policy. So for example, if you have a $100,000 policy and the premium is $40 a month, you would pay that $40 a month for 20 years, 12 times 20, and that money you would get back. But if you died before the term ended, then your beneficiary would collect $100,000. So that's a good way for you to make an investment. If you want to do a long-term investment, you're young. Some of you guys who are in this program, you're in your early 30s. You know, you might consider this another way to save $1. Precious metals, you guys know how I feel about that. You can trade silver, gold, platinum on the global currency exchange. You can trade silver, gold, platinum on the stock market exchange. The difference is when you trade it on the global currency, Forex, it becomes liquidity. You cash out immediately, the money is yours. On the stock market, the money is not going to be yours immediately. You have to have a time where you have to have what they call a stop loss. If it goes up, then you can go ahead and cash out. And even then, you have to wait a 24 to 48 hour period. Whereas in the global currency exchange market, you get that money immediately once you sell the particular currency. One is stock, one is currency. Cryptocurrency, you have 190 on the market right now. It's virtual money through blockchain, and there's no watchdog. That's my only challenge with crypto. At least with global currency exchange and the stock market, you have the federal government, you have the the World Bank, and you have governing of banks who are watching how people are actually using these systems to make sure no one is stealing or cheating, and that helps the stock market. Global currency trading, you can start with as little as $25. The stock market, there's 3 different ways you can trade the stock, and we're going to continue to get into that in our classes. And we're going to look at the penny stocks and then build our way up to the higher level stocks. But you can be looking at those things. And then gold, carat coin. Now, I love this. Gold has created its own carat cryptocurrency. That's what the carat coin is. But what gold is doing, carat bars, they're selling you 1/10 of a gram of gold. And for every 1/10 of a gram of gold that you buy, they will give you so many carat coins, which is pretty cool. And then when you get so many carat coins, you can cash them in for a gram of gold. So I think that was pretty good. And what he's doing, he's kind of recycling the money and flipping the script. And people who are going to trade the carat coin is going to invest into that carat gold, which is how you're going to get your interest off that carat gold. I mean, that carat coin. So look into it. I like the new carat coin system that's out there. All wells. We've never talked about this with the gold diggers, but I do want to share that with you guys as something you guys can be thinking about, and even maybe getting with your families and collaborating your money together. It takes a minimum of about $10,000 to invest in all wells. So I just wanted to give you some of the terminology and education in it, something you could think about, pray about, look into. Even your nonprofit, you know, you're looking into a passive way of income. This is another way for your nonprofit. If you can raise 10 grand, go ahead and invest in all well for your nonprofit. That's another way for your nonprofit to make some money. Anyways, when you're looking at all wells, it's called wildcatting. When you look at somebody talking to you about wildcatting, it's simply talking about dry, unknown land, meaning they are going to go and try and dig an all well on land that's never been digged for all before. The recommendation, the encouragement is not to do that, because you're taking some major chances there. Your chances of finding all is 25-1. The best way to invest in all wells is developmental drilling, which is about 100% success rate. Why? Your well is going to be big on land where there are several other wells owned by other people, or even the company you're looking at who might have several all wells already on land, and they're looking to dig another all well on that land. So that would be the best way to go, developmental drilling. If you decide that's something you do want to get into, make sure the company that you decide to invest with invite you to the drilling site so you can see the physical land that the oil is going to be drilled on, get a geologist report, share the risk. When you do it like this, you're sharing the risk with many other all well investors, especially those who are already drilling on land that you're looking to go drill on with them. And usually all wells produce anywhere from 20 to 50 years. So that's a pretty long time for you to look at having an investment and leaving it until your children's children. And then the interest is sellable. So you could sell the interest in the all well and still own your percentage of the all well and not lose out on it. Okay. Let's see what's our next one. Investment property. I taught on this last month. You can invest in real estate in the stock market now. Again, I just want you guys to remember with the stock market, you have common stock. And when you're investing in the stock market, you have mutual funds. I want you to remember that stocks can go up and down at the twinkling of an eye. When you're investing in stocks, you're buying that actual stock. So if that stock goes down, you're going to lose your money. And when you're investing in real estate and stocks, you really are going to lose your money like any other stock if it goes down. If it goes up, great. And I'll give you an example, the great real estate bust in 2008. So you're not actually buying property. You're just investing in a company of property wholesale holders or venture capitals that are investing in properties all over the world. And they're saying that the more you're buying stock, the more they're investing in real estate. And that's how you get your gains in the real estate, in the stock market when you invest in real estate. I would say to you, as far as purchasing physical real estate, again, if you've not purchased a home, I would recommend you buy a piece of rental property first live in that rental property for about 2 years, maybe a double or a fourplex, and then find your dream home and let that rental property pay for your dream home. And then after you purchase that dream home and you have your double, your fourplex paying for it, then you can look at jumping up to the next level to a piece of commercial property. And then remember, there's traditional and non-traditional ways of financing real estate. You can purchase it the traditional way through bank loans. Just remember, when you're doing a bank loan on a commercial level, you're going to need at least 20 to 25% down, especially if you're dealing with banks. Or you could do owner financing, which is what I recommend. You can also do assumptions. You can also do short sales, and you can do tax liens. Tax liens take a little work. You need to know your tax lien laws in the city you're in or where you're going to try and purchase those tax lien properties. You need to understand how the laws work. Some of them are done strictly by auction. Some are done strictly by you paying the tax. And some, you could just get the information of that person, send them a private letter offering them the opportunity to purchase the tax lien property from them and then go buy the tax and then pay the tax. So it's all in how creative you can be with this actual investing piece, okay? Short sales are when you find someone who is about to foreclose on their home and you can convince them to short sell it to you. But when you do a short sale, you have to be already qualified because now you have to convince the bank that you're willing and ready to purchase that home on a short sale. Short sales are good for flipping. Short sales are good if you're looking for a dream home in a particular location and that home would otherwise not be reachable, but now it's reachable because it's on the foreclosure list and you qualify to buy it. Banks don't really care pretty much that, you want to buy it because it's a foreclosure and you're trying to, get in an upscale neighborhood or something. Long as you qualify to buy it, that's a good way for you guys who want to live in gated communities or upscale area neighborhoods in your city. A good way to do that without paying high price dollar is do it through short sales. Okay. Let's see. And then don't forget, I expect you guys, we're in the 7th month, you guys should be working on some type of intellectual property. Write your first story, your personal life story, training manuals. Some of you have been doing the same job for over 20 years. You have some expertise in that job. You can write a manual for people to have information, education for applications, short stories. People, believe it or not, publishers are looking for people who like to write short stories. If you're very creative in your writing, consider doing that. And then writings, which are called experiences. You can do short writings and sell them to scientific publishers who like to publish short writings about real life experiences. Matter of fact, you can even look into trying to turn some of them into movies. A lot of movies now are being pushed out on Netflix, and they're life stories, real, true life stories that have happened in people's lives. And in virtual learning, create some videos of trainings, motivational speaking. I don't know. You search the Lord, but this is like right 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is 5 incomes just right here in intellectual property. So I want you guys to think about that, okay? And then last but not least, passive income, multi-level marketing, affiliate marketing, and partnerships. Guys, it's the way the world is moving today. Don't be afraid of them. I just say take your time and look at them. And what I teach you guys is I do a lot of MLMs, but I only buy into those I believe in. Some I've tested and bought into and had to come out of them. So don't be afraid of them. Don't turn your head down at them. Investigate them. Do your homework and see if it's something you think you would like. Who knows? You might become very good at it. It just depends. But don't turn your head or shun it. It's another stream of income that you can push yourself into. So let's recap real quickly for those who came on late. Remember, how do I prosper? First, credit. It's the most important asset you can have. When you broke, if you say, I'm not broke, I just have a cash flow shortage. We all go through that. Even the rich go through that. But if you own property, you don't have a cash flow problem, because you can easily go and refinance a property. You can easily go and sell a property. And I don't care any kind of property, real estate property, gold, silver, vehicles, any type of property that has a value added to it, you're never broke. Remember that. Parents, remember, those of you with little babies, invest in a 529 plan. The minimum is $20 a month. The maximum is $50 a month. Every state has one. Just ask your state about their 529 plan. Don't forget the Uniform Gifts to Minors Act. It's the 529 plan competition. Another one, the only catch-22 here is it's irrevocable. It's non-transferable. Once you put it in that child's name, when that child becomes 18 or 21, however you set it up, the money will be turned over to that child, and there's nothing you can do about it. So if the child gets the money at 21 and you get mad because the child decides not to go to college and they want to buy a Lamborghini or a Corvette, you can't get mad about it. You have to just do it. Don't forget, invest in the market. You have the stock market, you have the global currency exchange market, which is Forex, and you have the cryptocurrency market. You don't forget insurance. We all need it, guys, but it's another way to invest, and there are several ways you can invest in the insurance. Don't forget your precious metals, silver, gold, and platinum. I believe in silver and gold. The Lord said, all the gold is mine, the silver and gold, I own it. I do believe history repeats itself. I do believe history is cyclical, meaning it continues to form in a circle. And so I do believe gold and silver will come back as the monetary exchange system. And when that happens, those who have no gold and silver will be in trouble. So it's like your safe haven. And for what it costs today, I think it's worth you investing. And like I said, you can do the cash gold for as little as $10 a month. And then you can buy into actual 24-karat bullion gold. The cash gold is 1/10 of a gram. It's $10 a month. And then you could do a gram at $50 a month, and then so on and so on and so on. But the fact of the matter is you're constantly investing in gold, and you can't beat that, right? Even if you just did $10 a month. All wells, don't forget, you don't want to do wildcatting. You do want to do developmental drilling. You can look at that to make your notes. Don't forget, investment property is not, if you do an ETF, exchange traded funds on the stock market and real estate, you're just investing in stocks. You're not purchasing actual physical real estate. If you invest in real estate, then you have to buy the real estate, and you're either going to do residential, commercial property, and then there's a traditional and non-traditional way. Also, check out joining the National Association of Real Estate Investors, or National Real Estate Investors Association. Every city has one. It's a good place for you to be surrounded by real estate investors who are well seasoned. That's how I got most of my education. I joined the local one here in my city, surrounded myself with a lot of seasoned old guys who had been in the business for like 30, 40 years, and they taught me what I know. So even though I am sharing with you guys here in the Gold Diggers program every month, I still want you to surround yourself with other investors who are doing the things you want to do, and pick one and make it your specialty. I love real estate. I love real estate, intellectual property, and I love precious metals. Those are my three top investing areas that I like to invest my money in. So you pick and choose which one, you would like to really become good at. You're going to focus all your energy in that one thing, and become good at it. Warren Buffett chose the stock market. He had the patience. That's the thing with stock market. You have to have the patience to work it, to learn it, the systems that's used to do the trading. If you don't have the patience, you're not going to be successful. intellectual property. As I said, I think all of you guys have something inside of you to share with the world, and somebody out there wants to hear it. It's just a matter of you sitting down and taking the time out to do the writing. And I want to say hats off to people like Shonda, Sonoya, trying to think if I hate calling names, but if I didn't call your name, and I've been watching you on Facebook, I'm watching y'all social media accounts, I'm watching what you guys are doing out there. I want to say hats off to you guys. And don't forget education, education, education. Hats off to Shonda. I think she's about to go do her PhD program. Guys, you need the education so that you can have information for application. Remember that none of us are perfect, and we're always evolving every day in our knowledge with information. Information is evolving every day. And then don't forget your passive income. So that's about it, guys, with this checkup month. I just wanted to do a quick checkup for you guys so that you can see, you know, make sure you're doing what you're supposed to be doing while you're in this program. Let's not just have you wasting your money and just end here, right? I want you guys to really be doing something that's benefiting you, and you're working the program and doing the homework. So that's it. I'll load this up in the classroom sometime tonight or tomorrow. As I said, it's my fault. I was supposed to do the class on the 16th, and I did it on tonight. So I apologize, but I am still doing my class. Ha-ha. Right? So I missed you guys. I hope you enjoyed tonight's teaching. And of course, you know the drill. If you have any questions, you're more than welcome to email me or give me a call on the 1-800 number. All right. I do see one is in here. Sherry, you have any questions while we're live? Sherry? Hello?
I can't unmute.
Hi. Any questions? Nope. All righty then. Let me pray for you guys and I'm out. Father, in the name of Yeshua, we bless you tonight and say thank you for the gold diggers. We pray you continue to bless us, God, with wisdom, with insight, creativity, God. Order our steps and direct our paths. We pray for favor, increase, and overflow. Forgive us of our sins. Have mercy on our souls. Bless each and every one of the gold diggers, God. Meet them where they are. We give you the glory in Jesus' name. Amen and thank God. All right. Love you guys. Oops, she said chat. All right. Let me see what you're saying before I hang up. Oh, wait. Let me see. Great class. Okay, no problem. Love you too. All righty. I talk to you, I think Wednesday, right? All righty then. Bye-bye, guys. Love y'all.